Good evening. Good evening to you. Happy Friday. Yeah. It's one of those days where, yeah, it's nice and cool, but I can't seem to find the right clothes to wear for the temperature I want. I'm very much a creature of comfort. I like my comforts, you know, my stuff. Does that make sense? That makes sense. I hope so, because yay, Amber's here. Let's get this party started. Let's get it started. We're gonna have a whoopee party. Whoopee! One of these days. One of these days. Yeah, we'll put out a flyer that says, join us at our plain old whoopee party. You know, Zoom meetings. So if you are chairing a meeting, you don't have any power. Okay, it's a responsibility, not a power. Okay, stick to the script, stick to the rules. If it's a newcomer meeting, stick to newcomer talk. They're create. When people see, oh, this is a newcomers meeting, I'm going to go to it because I'm a newcomer, and then they show up, and the topic is the ninth step. They're feeling a little deceived, my friends. Um, so just remember that when you are a chairperson, it is a responsibility, period. And that means you follow the rules, right? And let's kind of work on getting some good prayers there at the end. The responsibility statement's not a prayer. Um, just saying thank you. When I go to in-person meetings, they do the Lord's Prayer, and it almost feels like everybody at the Zoom meeting is trying to leave. Like, oh yeah, oh, we're all because there's people that there's reasons, anxiety and things like this. Uh, kind of notice that. Gotta have those meetings after the meetings. Gotta have those meetings before the meetings, man. That's where recovery happens. That's when the actual recovery happens. That's when people get to talk and so just some thoughts. Welcome Daily Trudge or the triple Daily Trudge today. Yep, you got me 3 times today. Aren't you lucky? Such a lucky person you are to get me 3 times in one day. That's usually what happens anyway. All right. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's not true, is it? It's not true. It's a denial. And probably the worst things that we could have used growing up, Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words do the same thing. You ever you ever say something to somebody that was reactive and you just wish it would not have come out of your fucking mouth? There's no amount of apology in the moment that you could do to save grace. It's happened to me. You bet. You bet. What we say in meetings, how we present ourselves, it all matters. You know, um, a lot of people, and if you want to swear in front of your kid, I mean, I did, okay, but don't expect your kids not to run around swearing. Then, that was one thing that I just drove me crazy with my parents. Oh, Dion, you're not allowed to swear. Fuck you, I'm not. Watch me. There's no rule in this world that says I can't fucking swear. It's not against the Constitution or anything. It's just crappy behavior, right? Yeah. Yeah. when people are new in the program, they're not much different than children. They're I'm gonna kind of take this a different approach. When I came into the program, especially in the beginning, now the second time I came to the program, I wouldn't have bought it, but I would have been easily manipulated, and you could have led me on any kind of path, and I would have to trust you with that, right? Yeah. Um, I mean, words matter so much that I don't want to change the first 164 pages. I don't think they need changing. Are some words out of date? Just because we don't use them as much, or maybe you weren't on the way that I see it also is you can learn more. If you don't understand a word, I mean, they were even nice enough to put out a dictionary about it, for God's sakes. Okay? I use this often. I use this often. Not as much as Google, right? Amber gave this to me. Should have this shit I'm wearing Amber gave me. I'm just kidding. Just my shoes. We Virgos are like that, though. You give us something handmade, or you go out of your way, like handwritten letters. I just I don't know what it is about a handwritten letter, man. I appreciate them a lot. Right? You're stupid. You're stupid. Do you know how stupid you are? You're so stupid. You're dumb. You know what you're doing in life. You're a loser. You're toxic. That's the new one. Toxic. You know, these are all just it to me. It's just all name calling. If I call somebody toxic, then the way I see it is I'm name calling. I'm judging that person. Now, this might be a little bit better of a statement for me. That person triggers me. There, now I'm being honest. Now I'm being honest. Well, you know what? My triggers are my problem, right? Yes, they are. Okay. Can you decide whether or not words are going to hurt you? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually our decision or not. Um, there we have different levels, right? Like if there was somebody that came on here and said, you know, and this has happened before, so they came on, they're like, your hair's a mess and you need to shave, and what is that? That's just somebody coming on and being judgmental with me, right? Sure it is. Sure. You know? Um, it's important that and this is why it works, but it's important that we stick to our experience, strength, and hope, because once we get out of that, okay, um oh sorry, sometimes like this is probably the thing I hear the most. Dion, it's not what you said but how you said it, but that's not really the topic that we're on that. What it has to do with is if we're running around and let's say, like one of my exes talked a lot of shit about me. Another one of my exes did not. And the relationship between the child and the mother is different. Is different. There's different levels of respect. And I notice these things. I want my kids to be, you know, my son finally came and asked me for some help. There wasn't anybody left to ask. Hey Gary, if I didn't say yeah, hi Gary. Um, he just needed a ride, but it was nice to put him in my car and give him a ride, and went and got his car doing guy stuff, you know, nothing big. But, you know, I even watch how I say and what I say around my grandchildren too, because I know that they're going to they love their grandpa. And they got a cool grandpa. As far as grandpas go, I'm a pretty cool grandpa. I do all sorts of impressions, and I'm just kind of nutty, right? And I like making, little kids just love being around me for some reason. Probably because I haven't grown up yet. All right. Um, but what we say and what we say to each other matters a lot. You know, we'd like to run around. I mean, it'd be great to run around and not care what anybody thought of us, but that's just not going to happen, man. Yeah. There's going to be times in life where you won't be able to help but compare, you know, because you're trying to figure out where you're going. And maybe you're not judging, but, there's some things in life that you can't help. Okay. And true, I heard somebody else talking in the 3 p.m. meeting today saying, I get intrusive thoughts. I know you get them too. Quit denying it. Quit denying them, man. Everybody's got them, you know. But if we can all agree that we're full of snakes, then we can move forward. And that's what we're going for, right? Sometimes, and for me, and I would not recommend this, but sometimes I just shut up because I feel like I'm making things worse. Like I'm trying to help, but what's coming out of my mouth it isn't helping. So I shut up, and then like, well, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just doing what I can, but I hear a lot of things in meetings, and we have newcomers and people that are impressionable. Watch what the fuck you're saying, man. You know, a good example of that is the difference between sobriety and recovery, man. And I'm not going to go into that because everybody here knows, and they're like, yeah, I've heard it 50 times this week, and I don't need to repeat it, right? Hi, Ingrid. All right, the whole clan's here. Good to see you. It's good to see you. Now, what we say to ourselves matters the most. What we say to ourselves actually matters the most. That's what I have found. If I tell myself something enough, I'll believe it. I'll become it. Just because I'm saying it. I am an asshole. I'm an asshole. Did you know that you will become anything that you start with I am? And don't get crazy about, well, I am an astronaut. Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying, right? Right. So if you continuously call yourself a name, you'll be that. You'll be that. Hi, Patricia. Good to see you. I had this is day 4 or 5, lowering the meds and tough week. And, we're all doing the best that we can, right? We're all doing the best that we're all doing, yeah. And there was a guy I went to go buy some cigarettes the other day, and his kid, he just had a really good attitude, right? And you can tell he was kind of geek. I know my geeks, right? But he had a good fucking attitude, and it was nice. It was nice to just have somebody that was just being cheerful, kind of a cheerleader thing. Hey, I hope you're having a good day. And he had the attitude of everybody's going through something. If we stick together, we'll make it, man. We'll make it. You know, but if we don't do it unconditionally, if we don't do it in an altruistic intention, then it leads back to pride and ego and power and control and these things that are just no good for me. Mm-mm. When I go with the flow of life, that's when things go well. You know, I don't try and row upriver anymore. I don't. I might go to the side and maybe hit the bank with my friends or something, but I'm always going with the flow of the river. I go with the flow of the river now because every time that I try and go against it, I've got rocks and levees and currents and insanity is what it is. Okay. I know I'm all over on this one. I didn't try to redo my internet. That I failed that. And it irritates the crap out of me. And I'll tell you why, because I used to install huge phone switches. Now they send me this stuff and it's supposed to be straightforward. And it's just like, no, it's not. And yeah, blah, blah. Anyway, times change. Times change. So, when I was growing up, it wasn't until I was probably 16, 15, 16, when I figured out that I was a lot smarter than I thought I was. I was a lot smarter than I thought I was. See, I had this speech impediment, and I used to say my S's through my nose, my S's through my nose. Okay? This was in the 70s, so they put me in doctor said I was retarded, and they put me in the lower class. My grades were never good. My man that raised me always called me stupid, and everything was based on grades and money. If you got an A, you got this much money. If you got it, and I'm like, you know what? I con enough people. I don't need money. I need attention. Okay? Why do you think time is so important to me? People have been trying to buy my love all my fucking life. No, thank you. Uh-uh. Now take 10 minutes, sit down with me, may understand where I'm coming from. We'll have something different on our hands. Okay. So I got older. But this whole time I didn't think I was very smart because other people continuously told me I was not. Right. And I was doing the reason I found out I was doing school work, when you're in these places, you gotta go to school. And I decided to apply myself. They're like, holy crap, you know your stuff. I'm like, yeah, I guess I do. Then I went and got my GED at age 17. I graduated before anybody else in my class, considering I was a year behind. Actually, I was a year ahead. Everybody in my class was always older than me because I was born in September. But and I scored in the 98th percentile. I'm really fucking smart. I'm smarter than anybody ever gave me credit for when I was growing up. It's just that I didn't apply myself because there weren't any good consequences to apply myself. Well, I'll give you $10. Ooh, I better get busy. Now, if they would have said, hey, Dion, you know, we'll let you pick what you want to do, that would have been different. I would have changed. Yeah. But they wanted to use their love language on me, and that wasn't gonna work. And so whenever I go to a meeting and we do the serenity prayer together, right? It's a great time to do it. I always ask God for the right words after that. God, if I speak in the meeting, please give me the right words. And I always do that because I understand that misinformation in recovery actually has the power to kill. It has the power to kill other people, man. And am I responsible for that? No. Just like I can't get anybody sober either. But yet, right? Yet there's things that I can say that you can say that might change your mind. It might change their mind. And here again, words matter, man. These words matter. It's things like when a newcomer comes in, okay, respect's a big deal to us. It's a big deal. So when those newcomers come in, and I try and say this every time, but I tell people that I respect anybody that comes into the program. You automatically get my respect. Not my trust, but I don't bring up that part. You don't need to. I got respect. Oh, you have respect for me? You don't know me. I don't need to know you. I don't need to know you to hand out respect. The fact that you even walked into the room, the fact that you even tried to log on to a Zoom meeting is good enough for me. Right? If God doesn't make too hard terms, then neither should I. In fact, in order for me to help you, let me tell you the terms. You got to be a child of God. It's the only terms I have. Okay? And it doesn't matter who knocks at my door. If somebody knocks at my door and they need help, I will do what I can. Oh, okay. No. So while we're out there doing what we're doing, let's not forget those words of encouragement. Let's not forget those. You know, um, we alcoholics we're beset, and beset pretty much means that if there's a problem, we got it. If there's a problem, we got it. Okay. Um, our lives are when we're drinking or when we're not in recovery, our lives are full of drama. You know, I mean, we could if we were if we were still drinking, our lives would make a great reality show, right? Hmm. Yeah, got to plant the seed. Yeah, and there's ways to do this. The way we used to do it was by yelling and screaming and getting in their face. I mean, that was the old way, and it worked. Okay, but that's not how things are done now. Okay. I had to make that change. When I came back in, I'm like, people under 30 days talking, what the fuck is this? See my prejudgments. That was a prejudgment. That was contempt prior to investigation. See, the 12 steps are what they're malleable. That means that they can conform to anything. And it doesn't matter what society becomes, it'll change to it. It doesn't have a choice. Okay? Because it's multiple pathways. Everybody gets their own path. That's the great thing about AA. And that's why when people come to me and say, well, there's multiple pathways, AA is not the only way. I'm like, it's clear you don't understand. You are correct. AA is not the only way. But let's go ahead and get started there. If it isn't working for you, let somebody know. We'll help you find something else. You know, just like if you have a sponsor and it isn't working out, tell them. And if that's a good person and they understand, they'll help you find another sponsor. I've done it. I've done it with clients too. You bet. Well, I've had clients where I wasn't the fit, man. I'm a little bit rougher. I am. I'm nice here. I'm nice here. Go talk to one of my sponsees. It's different when we meet. I get kind of rough. Need to be. We need to be on point. We need to be covering this stuff. I think I got it all out of me. I think I did. So it's just been a weird, week. You know, we're all going through some stuff, and then I don't have my body double, and that's kind of fucking me up. You know, Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And yeah, just be cognitive of what you say to yourself. All right. I love you. Peace out and have a day.